lawmakers.
Beyond that, automakers will be reimbursed for some of the costs of imported parts. That news came.
Make a deal with China. We're talking to China, but their factories are closing all over China because we're not taking their product. We don't want their product.
Trump's been yelling about bringing manufacturing back to America, but Toyota and Nissan just gave him a massive middle finger. They're dumping billions into China instead of the US, and Trump's throwing a tantrum about it. So what happened to all those tariffs that were supposed to scare companies into building factories in America? Turns out the Orange Turds master plan backfired spectacularly. Let's break down how these car giants are telling America thanks but no thanks while embracing their Chinese future. Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great, thank you so much. Now back to the video. Think your job is safe in the auto industry? Think again. Toyota and Nissan just told America they'd rather date China, and it's gonna cost us big time. These automotive giants aren't just taking their toys and going elsewhere. They're backing up moving trucks filled with billions of dollars that could have created thousands of American jobs. Instead, that money's heading straight to Shanghai. So much for Trump's promise to bring manufacturing back to the heartland.
We took over on January 20th. The tariffs haven't kicked in yet. I know that, and I don't want this to happen, but
on imported parts and cars remains in effect.
Yeah, I think the impact is still a little bit uncertain. The automakers I talked to are still digesting it.
know that China is doing very poorly right now. I just saw some reports coming out, and I don't want that to happen to China. I like the president a lot.
Remember when Trump swore his big beautiful tariffs would force companies to build in America? Turns out that plan crashed harder than his Atlantic City casinos. His America First economic policy is looking more like America Last as these car companies sprint toward China faster than Trump running from a subpoena. But why exactly is China so irresistible to these companies? Well, economists point out that setting up shop in China basically hands you instant market dominance on a silver platter. It's like opening an ice cream stand in the middle of a heat wave. Except the heat wave is the world's largest consumer market with a booming middle class hungry for new cars. Those regional supply networks in China also make it super easy to export to other countries.
For its part, China's Ministry of Foreign Affairs issued a video today saying it would not back down from the trade war with the U.S.
President Xi, I don't want it to happen. I was actually saddened to hear it, but they are getting absolutely hammered in China.
But tensions with China and a number of countries remain high, and companies are concerned.
Creating a one-stop manufacturing paradise that Trump's tariffs can't compete with. While Donnie Diapers was busy trying to bring back coal, yes, actual coal, China was rolling out the red carpet for electric vehicle manufacturers with juicy incentives that make American offerings look like spare change found between couch cushions. Toyota executives don't even try to hide it anymore. They regularly tell the American press they care about the US but will make their new investments mainly in Asia. That's corporate speak for, it's not you, it's me, while they're already moving in with their new partner. China isn't just passively accepting these investments either. They're aggressively pushing to become the global leader in what they call new energy vehicles. That's a fancy term for electrics and hybrids that will dominate the future of transportation, while Trump was still trying to protect gas-guzzling SUVs from the 1990s.
President Trump signed an executive order today aimed at softening the blow his tariffs have imposed on the automotive industry and U.S. manufacturers.
And, they're sending boats, the biggest boats in the world, carrying cargo like nobody's ever seen.
It has to do with a very small percentage. If they can't get parts, we didn't want to penalize them.
The harsh reality, higher wages in America, our uncertain policy landscape, and even the threat of Trump's beloved tariffs can't outweigh the benefits these companies see in China. Toyota and Nissan aren't making these multi-billion-dollar decisions based on tweets or patriotism. They're following the money, and right now, all roads lead to Shanghai. Those all roads lead to Shanghai aren't just being traveled by Toyota and Nissan. There's actually a traffic jam of multinational corporations speeding toward China while Trump stands on the roadside waving his tiny hands in futile protest. Volkswagen isn't just dipping a toe in the Chinese market. They're cannonballing in with a massive $2.68 billion innovation center designed to accelerate local tech development. Meanwhile, Elon Musk, who Trump once called a genius, is doubling production capacity at Tesla's Shanghai Gigafactory and building a $201 million energy storage facility. So much for America first. And it doesn't stop with cars. Siemens Healthineers is constructing their 6th global distribution center in China, while chemical giant BASF is dropping $500 million to expand their plant specifically to support China's booming electric vehicle sector. These aren't small potatoes. These are multi-billion-dollar votes of no confidence in Trump's economic vision.
A tariff of 25% on imported cars and auto parts will remain in place.
They're doing a big U-turn and going back because they don't want the goods because 145% tariff. But I just
The real kicker, when Toyota announced their Shanghai investment, Wall Street threw a party. Toyota's stock surged 5.5%, the market literally rewarding them for ignoring America. The Nikkei index rose 0.5% on this news too, lifting other Japanese automakers like Nissan and Honda along with it. Investors are basically saying, good call ignoring that orange lunatic's threats.
Beyond that, automakers will be reimbursed for some of the costs of imported parts. That news came.
make a deal with China. We're talking to China, but their factories are closing all over China because we're not taking their product. We don't want their product.
While Donnie Diapers was busy crafting mean tweets and empty threats like, we will stand up to actions in the automotive industry that are not in our national interest, he completely lacked any actual strategy to compete with China's offerings. These companies aren't making these decisions to be mean to Trump. They're making them because China is offering a buffet of incentives that make his tariffs look like a sad little value meal. The stark reality is that Trump's big, tough tariff talk accomplished the exact opposite of what he promised his base. His economic nationalism was just hot air from a deflating balloon. These corporations did the math and realized that even with tariffs, building in China and shipping to America is still more profitable than manufacturing here. A devastating indictment of Trump's economic policies.
But the administration will make some changes so differing tariffs can't be stacked on top of other tariffs for automakers.
We just wanted to help them during this little transition, short term. And during this little, if they can't get parts.
What's truly pathetic is that while Trump was busy scribbling China bad on White House notepads, these corporations were strategically positioning themselves in the world's fastest growing market for electric vehicles and battery technology. His administration had no comprehensive plan to keep these industries in America, just threats and Twitter tantrums. So here's the real kicker, folks. While Trump was busy rage tweeting about American greatness, something much bigger was happening. What we're watching isn't just about car companies moving factories. It's a massive power shift eastward. Asia, especially China, is becoming the new global center for production and technology. This isn't some temporary blip because of trade wars or tariffs. It's a fundamental strategic realignment that'll reshape global manufacturing for decades to come. The next time some politician promises to bring back jobs with tough talk, remember this moment. The question isn't if Trump failed, it's whether America can adapt to this new reality at all.